フルーツならデリバリーもできます。お金もあるんですし。
金持ちはただ待っていろと？私をそんな風に見ていたのか。
いえ、でもここは人が多すぎます。
お前は信頼できる子だが、少し肩の力を抜いたらどうだ。でないと大切なものを見落としてしまうぞ。この果物とかね。これを一つ。ヒロ、どうした？震えている。
伏せて。
おっ、
ここに。
私の家に忍び込むなんて自殺願望でもあるの？
久しぶり、由美子。八幡さんが。
ええ、話は聞いたわ。
見覚えは？手伝ってもらう。仇は必ず撃つ。
Get ready for the final round. Match in overtime.
Team Mira ties the game. Are you a betting man, Harry?
Do you assume I favor one side over the other? You know me better than that, Sam. Besides, I left my wallet at home.
Attackers, prepare for insertion. Team Mira to the map. The map.
Now, Roger, let's go fishing. Good to go, Jordan.
Copy that.
Three attackers remaining.
Callie, I need cover! We're pinned down, Callie! Get us out of Callie! What the heck is he doing? Giving them a clear target.
Come out and play.
Only two attackers remain. Two defenders remain on the map.
Something tells me that didn't come out of the playbook.
Not in our playbook, anyway. Something tells me this fight ain't over.
To be able to react quickly, you must remove unnecessary variables from the equation. Emotion for one, as well as the fear of consequence. Good reaction time and
Instinct can't be bought. That won't stop me from trying. I don't know how you do things in the private sector, but we do not use people as bait here.
This is a game, princess. And I just want it for you.
Keep her back! Steady there.
Are you off the knock? Back off!
Come on, back
Tracking target at full velocity. Predicting trajectory. Wunderbar.
Did I mention it comes wrist-mounted?
No. I don't like to use the word hero. But I did save the boss's life, you know. Hey, Osa! Wait up!
I already said I won't take any selfies with you.
I know. But I was thinking, high-tech is seriously trending right now. So I was kind of hoping I could borrow one of your toys for a little photo shoot.
Some of these toys come with a $50 million price tag.
Well, then why did these tourists get to play?
Because if they break it, Rainbow buys it. Besides, Callie wants them to feel at home.
Right, Callie, the big plan. What's the big plan again?
Lips are sealed, hero.
Come on. I helped build this place. Don't you think I should be in the know?
I think you should be focused on winning the Invitational, not showing off to our senior physicist.
Thought she was a biologist. You all look the same to me.
What? Women?
Nerds.
You know what, Ace? I think I will help you with that photo shoot.
Ah, really? Awesome.
Of course. Could you just stand a little to the left?
Like this?
Perfect. Say nerd. Keep bugging my staff and this goes viral.
Oh, no, come on. Please don't tell Callie.
Showtime.
なぜいつもここに来るんですか？フルーツならデリバリーもできます。お金もあるんですし。
金持ちはただ待っていろと？私をそんな風に見ていたのか。
いえ、でもここは人が多すぎます。
お前は信頼できる子だが、少し肩の力を抜いたらどうだ。でないと大切なものを見落としてしまうぞ。この果物とかね。これを一つ。ヒロ、どうした？震えている。
伏せて。ここに。
私の家に忍び込むなんて自殺願望でもあるの？
久しぶり、ユミコ。八幡さんが。
ええ、話は聞いたわ。
見覚えは？手伝ってもらう。仇は必ず撃つ。
Get ready for the final round. Match in overtime.
Team Mira ties the game. Are you a betting man, Harry?
Do you assume I favor one side over the other? You know me better than that, Sam. Besides, I left my wallet at home.
Attackers, prepare for insertion. Team Mira to the map. Team Ash has breached the map.
Doka, now.
Roger. Let's go fishing.
Good to go, Jordan.
Copy that.
Three attackers remaining.
Callie, I need cover! We're pinned down, Callie! Get us out of here! Callie! What the heck is he doing?
Giving them a clear target.
Come out and play.
Only two attackers remain. Two defenders remain on the map.
Something tells me that didn't come out of the playbook.
Not in our playbook, anyway. Something tells me this fight ain't over.
To be able to react quickly, you must remove unnecessary variables from the equation. Emotion for one.
Rocat. Experience precision.
Tango in my sights.
Now it's time for new belt Nitro Signal! And he fell for it! He's looking to give coverage for his teammate, right? Then he lock it down, yes he can, but the swing's in. Triple for Apple. Shack! No time! Pun has to swing in. Jordy's pulled on. He's on the ground.
Camera in position!
Get behind me!
Tango located!
Hostiles in sight!
As we begin our downward spiral towards the end of the week, we have one more stop before we begin the nice ease into the weekend. Of course, it's LPL Pro coming in for Rainbow Six. My name, Blue Panda. Joining me, as always, it is Cthulhu. We are a bit of a fiend on the desk when it comes to this competition. But I mean, look, coming into week 6, how are we feeling?
Look, honestly, actually feeling quite excited for all of the whole competition, because we had some of the more unusual teams come into the swing of things, finally managed to claim some of the top positions, and some of the teams that we've expected to be the dominant elements on the leaderboard actually ended up falling off a little bit.
And speaking of falling off, unfortunately, we have had a bit of a change up in the way things are going. Onami has officially been removed from the competition. They will not be playing out the remainder of the league and have been removed themselves. And unfortunately, off the back of it, 4 players have also received sanctions from the league, receiving a ban for the seasons due to the LPL rules, of course. But we don't want to linger on a sour note, of course.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's still plenty of competition. Unfortunate very much for Onami as it is, but look, the show must go on, and it certainly will. There's still 17s, there's still, well, the playoff spots to be claimed, and, well, for some of the other teams, look, this opens up plenty of opportunities for themselves to get on board for that top 4 position.
Yeah, of course, tonight and next week, of course, they have points to earn, and then top 4 makes it into the playoffs. The best of 3 format to vie for that chunk of the change. The prize pool, of course, that everyone is playing for, $3,000 in total, with first walking away with $1,200, second $900, and third and fourth both getting $450. Cthulhu, and look, it's not just the gamers in the server tonight that could be winning. You yourselves at home could get in on the action. Make sure you get on Twitter, get involved. We have a giveaway going there, 2,400 R6 credits. Make sure you tweet at LPL_R6S using the hashtag you see on your screen, and tell us which weapon you think needs a buff and why. Personally, I think it's the Gon 6. It should be a lethal headshot. That needs to happen.
Only a lethal headshot.
Anywhere else, it does 10 damage. Headshot should be lethal.
I mean, that could be a funny mechanic to add to it. But yeah, look, I am expecting very much some rather spicy takes, and I'm all here for it.
Now, LMGE boring. Give us something fun. But you know what else is fun?
Actually, a choice of the ammo types for the shotguns.
That could be fun. But you know what else is fun? Highlights. Let's go have a look at how last week played out. Of course, Odium came in strong, taking down an 80% 1620 Kings. Unfortunately, they didn't have Machine there to help them out, but they still put on a hell of a show. They made Odium work for it, but unfortunately, they couldn't pull out the victory.
Absolutely. Look, it was still a pretty solid game, and we still got to see some really good highlights. Plus, I mean, Supremacist got to see himself a little bit of some action on the side of Odium. But honestly, I rated the way how things looked. By the end of it, the Odium managed to really bring it back to themselves, albeit at the beginning of the map, it was back-to-back kind of, rather back and forth of around scoring. And then, well, we got to see Team 7 not go back and forth with the Warriors.
Yeah, look, Team 7, they played true to themselves, and I mean, it was almost epitomised by Phoenix jumping out and finding 2 from red stairs, and it just sort of went downhill for Warriors. Campo with a massive clutch to close out the map and secure the victory there. Final match of the evening though, Antic, they had us in the beginning. Unfortunately for them, Underground were the ones to pull out the victory. They did it quite classily, if we're being honest with ourselves. They pulled out some massive plays across the board, and I mean, just what we witnessed here, this play in itself, Zuve and the long arm across the CCTV breach.
Yeah, look, it was a phenomenal comeback from Underground, honestly, and yeah, for Antic, it was rather unfortunate how things ended up turning out for them, and well, this does set us up with a rather interesting whole storyline. 2 Tier 3 teams that, generally speaking, didn't make it into OCL, didn't make it into internationals. They're the ones dominating the leaderboard. It's Team 7 and Underground topping the leaderboard, and then Ultrazealous and Odium sitting in that top 4. Unfortunately for Antic, for Warriors, and for 1620 Kings, it has been a rather rough run as it is. And, well, one would hope that at least the last remaining rounds that they get to play will be bringing them some sort of points.
I mean, the wild thing is, week 1, Team 7 lost to Onami and were relegated to the bottom of the leaderboard. They now find themselves at the top on the head-to-head, being the only team to take down Underground. Let's have a look at our matches for today. 3 of them on the cards, given that Onami will not be playing, so a free win there for Odium. Ultrazealous versus Underground first. That one's going to be a very interesting match, I would imagine. 1620 Kings versus Team 7, and Vodafone Warriors versus Antic Tyrannosaurus. I mean, there are 2 teams here currently primed in position to take first place. If they pick up a win here, it could secure them.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, I mean, for Ultrazealous, despite their run so far, even given that they are actually still in that potential for the playoffs, they could really shut things down for Underground, and they could play for the upset to get themselves on board. But so is Team 7. So Team 7, honestly, I think they are feeling a little bit more on form rather than Underground, given that Underground nearly managed to completely throw the ball away, and they were at some point last week on a 1-5 scoreline, and then had to pull, you know, the whole heroic effort to get themselves out. But as it is, Ultrazealous, they're a team that can pull out some very mad shenanigans when they want to, and those do lead to some really big snowball effects.
Let's have a look at Ultrazealous first, of course. Team Shenanigans, as you dumbed up. Coming into this competition, Banana, KT, Rice, Fakers, and Mackenzie. All at one point former members of the Ultrazealous roster in its truest form, now coming back to fill in LPL Pro. And not 100%, but we've seen in the past that sometimes this is the stronger variation of the team.
Yeah, that's kind of the odd kind of setup of it all, because Ultrazealous arguably went through the most rostered lineups for LPL Pro out of the whole season so far. But honestly, yeah, they're a team that, if they're feeling that they can perform, if they're feeling confident, they could do a lot of damage to the enemy team. But if they just here to kind of mess around, they're the ones that are finding out.
Well, you know who doesn't mess around? It's the Dwarves. It's Underground Esports Club. Because look, who lives underground? It's the Dwarves coming in to play. They're fierce fighters, they are. Pinku, MML, Zuve, Eraser, and JPK. Narrowly avoiding disaster last week. By all rights, it should have been an Antic match, but from some heroic effort deep in the back pockets of the strat book, it brought them victory. They come out, they find themselves in second place, losing out on the head-to-head to Team 7. If they win here, if Team 7 gets upset, they could slingshot right back into first.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, Underground still are posing for that first place rather well, and yeah, look, I gotta say that duo of Eraser and JPK has been rather huge in all things and all forms and ways. But look, honestly, I'm excited to see how will both these teams perform, given that, well, on the side of Altazelius, look, you could have, honestly, basically each and every player actually pop off. Matter of fact, I think Fakers has been probably the one to highlight the most. Maybe himself, maybe occasionally KT or Trippin. But unfortunately, Trippin won't get to really see the performance today.
I mean, you've got Team Mummin instead. KT,
True. Yeah, KT
has been a bit of a voice of reason for the team, so definitely could be the grounding force of this team, keep them level-headed into this match. And let's have a look at where we're going to be going, of course. The map vetoes, we see stock standard out of the play. We go to something new, something fresh. Altered Zelios on Theme Park against Underground Esports Club.
Now, Altered Zelios actually could see themselves a pretty decent run. I mean, looking back at some of the records, I do think that we actually did see Zelios play on Theme Park before, but I say that it was actually against the Kings, it was on Cafe.
It was 1620 Kings and Antic that played Theme, so I think we are still going new territory here.
That's the one, yeah. So Zelios are yet to play this, and yeah, that is correct, because checking all the final takes, yeah, it was all relatively basic for them up until now. It's time to actually bust out some of the spice. The issue is, though, Underground, if you remember back on the interview at week 2 when they played against Onami, we asked them if there was actually the expectation that they brought in back then a skyscraper. Now, Theme Park technically could still fall under the whole, niche of the new maps that hasn't been yet thoroughly practiced. And Underground were able to actually perform themselves rather well. It was, albeit it was a relatively same kind of pattern in form of their actions, but they still had it in a very polished way. So going into this matchup, this could be still very much of a kind of an Underground game.
Unfortunately, though, for you, Casil, I think you've forgotten one key part here as we jump on into Theme Park, and that is we have the servant of Korn himself, Mackenzie, the Chaos Marine that he is. He has openly discussed how much he thrives on the Chaos. If there is an aggressive play to be made that a team is not expecting, he is going to be the one to be making it. So on a map like Theme Park, where there are so many different positions where defenders and even attackers can get and upset opponents, I'm expecting him to do a lot of damage today. Not to mention, Banana playing his shotguns on the defense. There are so many positions where they can do absolutely lethal damage. I'm expecting it.
Exactly that. Well, let's see how will this really play out, because, look, again, the ban phase is also going to be quite crucial to see what kind of pace could we even expect from the two teams. But expecting a relatively standardized kind of ban phase stature out of the equation on Theme Park. Look, the kind of operator that it's a bit of a basic one.
I mean, remember the dock play. Banana on the shotgun. Do you want him playing that on the defense? Underground, they're going to have Osa banned out against them. Understandable. I mean, she is a powerhouse pick on this map.
True, yeah, that's a good acknowledgement, because Underground did bust out a number of times, actually, the Osa, so understandably so with her out of the equation, out of the equation on Theme Park specifically, that kind of prevents the ability to establish that sort of foothold. Mira also being taken out, that sort of means that, the defense will have to employ a little bit more of a mobile kind of play around the certain setups, because you don't have that kind of certainty in your position. And the K to wrap it all up, well, again, very much down to basics on the breach denial. So I kind of rate this ban phase. Nothing too spicy yet. We are kind of forcing I guess you could call it like a sub-meta of essentially disallowing either of the sides to get into that kind of anchored comfort zone, I guess you could call it.
I would like to get the admins involved here. There are some horrendous bloody names on the board for Altered Zelios at the moment. And I have to say, the only player that I even remotely respect after these changes is KT, because she's sticking with her name. None of this fakey, wakey nonsense. Altered Zelios, come on, guys.
Zuka, really? I'm not even gonna...
Get good, kid.
Attackers have located bombs.
Man. Can't have things in
I wonder what
on
Trippin's
Theme Park.
name would have been.
Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna delve that far. That's a very slippery slope there, Panda.
Oh dear. Well, we get into round one. Understandably, we are going to a bit of an iconic site on this map, Throne and Armory, as you would expect. This one can be a bit of a problem to attack, but if you notice what I noticed, Cthulhu, Twitch is in play, no mute.
Yeah, look, what am I supposed to?
No mute, Twitch in play.
Ah, yeah, right, yeah. Look, I mean, Twitch, not a bad one.
Sorry, no, there is mute, but there's, look.
Yeah. No, I'm actually, I was about to say, Underground are looking to be kind of going with rather standardized picks. And honestly, I'm quite curious as to what is the choice, because I was actually expecting to see an Alibi to be brought out, which would have been actually a big pick for somebody like JPK or maybe even Eraser. But regardless of that, we still get a Bandit, we still get a Jaeger that could do a mad amount of work. And I mean, the C4 play from either JPK or Zuve could be as well rather large.
Well, I mean, the crazy thing is the confidence is there. Altitelios had the option for the attack repick. They decided not to go with the Maverick or anything like that, and Pinku will find the first kill. Get good kid, unfortunately dead on the Finca. Not ideal.
Not ideal indeed. Yeah, look, losing the Finca out in the early stages is not particularly great. That's the frag grenades. That's the the boosts, the LMG, a whole lot of things pretty much gone and out. So a rather unfortunate. Zuve, though, gets absolutely debated by Benzuka, and this is actually a really good position, albeit I say that Cripsty is also taking quite some damage, and it's still everyone's game, honestly.
Yeah, you've lost your mute, so one of your shotgun operators, one of your nitro cells off the board. You take that, though, I think, with the Finca being removed. Nade is good from Rice, and that is MML down. Your two key site anchors having been removed. Eraser up on top of Dragon Stairs looking for an angle for anything. But, I mean, Altered Zelios, this is some insanely calculated play that we're seeing from them. They will find Ben. Unfortunately, he gets found out, but the plant is going down. KT's on the job, flanked in from behind. JPK, perfect angle. Denies the opportunity for AZ to get that plant down. Puts that player advantage back in Underground's court.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, for Pinku, he doesn't account for the fact that there would have been another Twitch playing around the hallway. So at the moment, I mean, 2v2 with 35 seconds remaining. It's still relatively workable. And yeah, look, with Ayana on board, I think there's still a really good chance for Altazelius to make a play, but with the fact that there's a vertical presence now from JPK, this would be rather problematic.
Eraser in the corner is going to find the first. Does he know about Rice, who's swinging through the main portion of the B-bomb site? Swings in. Eraser loses the gunfight with 7 seconds left. Rice has to go for the plant here, but he's got limited options. He's going to tuck himself into the corner. JPK, where is he? Drops down Dragon. He's not going to have the angle, so Rice is going to have a second to contest this. JPK has no clue. And back out through Connect. Rice is going to be able to play for the post plant. No nades, unfortunately, but I don't think that's his main priority right now. They've got options. They've got the angles. JPK's on the defuse. Rice needs to go. Rice needs to go. JPK pulls off. Rice wins it. Takes down the bomb diffuser, and they will get the first round.
Oh my. Off with quite a clincher of a round. Not gonna lie.
Polar opposite of last week.
Yeah, look, definitely. Hey, I mean, I'll take this kind of outcome because honestly, I would imagine even for Altazelius, it was a rather close one, and understandably so. Well, it's a retry of Armory and Throne Room, given that, look, it nearly was their round.
My lord, that could not have gotten any closer, I don't think. I mean, JPK presented with 2 opportunities, and unfortunately neither of them panned out the way you would have liked. We will, however, see a bit of a rotation of the operators right now. Ben picking up the Finca. Faker going to be picking up the Ace. Mackenzie not changing a thing. And we'll be going with the Sledge. Rice back on the Iana, and KT on the Jackal this time. So they are going to do a bit of a swoop swatch around and give players different operators. But on the side of the defense, no real changes.
Yeah, look. Not a whole lot of changes means that probably UG wanting to stick out with the kind of the set strat, the set setup that they had, but probably looking to maybe up some presence, maybe top floor as well. It nearly worked out, I mean, but it's more so the fact that there were a whole lot of unnecessary, I guess, reswings. Because even Pinku, his position, by the way, his expansion rather, into the barrels, has been actually a really formidable spot to really play around. Unfortunately, his decision to try to contest openly that 90 hallway kind of ended up in his own demise, because you kind of have to contest two very long angles, and it's rather difficult to snap between the two. So I think for UG here, basically, it's just going to be just play out in a bit more of a passive way, or rather just don't overextend. Just wait for the attack to come, because that's exactly what Oceania did, and well, that's basically where they could have been punished if the numbers were there.
I mean, it's a wild situation. UG have taken down some of the best teams in this competition. I mean, Antic, Odium, Onami as well, and they're coming into this competition against a team who, Oceania have been very, open about that. They don't really have much to lose. They're just coming in, they're playing the game, they're having a bit of fun week to week. And all of a sudden, I mean, if they keep these rounds up, they could be another team that takes down UG.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, we all kind of say, yeah, look, they're here for fun, but fun also involves winning, and so absolutely they wouldn't be throwing the rounds, but it's more so just about mentality of that. They here, well, if they lose, they lose. Oh well, it is what it is. They win. Look, sweet, awesome. We get to play another one. We get to possibly even go into the playoffs. We possibly could even earn the money off that. So, honestly, it's a great mentality, albeit something that could potentially allow certain mistakes, certain issues slip around. JPK nearly slipped his life away.
Look at the chip damage across the board. The nano boost to come through. Rice will be finished off through that hatch, courtesy of Zuve. The toxic canisters are already going down to try and deter this aggressive push from Altered Zelios. But you look at Zuve's position. He is isolated up in bunk right now, and there is someone crouched walking towards his position. I do believe it is Ben. Not going to know there's a shotgun in hand, and he will eat the pellets, unfortunately. So they find themselves at a two-player deficit in quick succession going into the final 40. UG have a solid ground to hold.
Well, already finding at least some sort of a return on that investment. Zelius trying to equalize the sort of deficit that they have, but with Eraser adding things up and stacking even more frags is looking to be rather dire already. 1v3 remaining. It's all down to Crips T to try to clutch it up, but does she know about the menace from behind? And well, she would not know. Instead, though, even with the menace from behind, it was the Eraser with the Jaeger's gun that just finishes it all up. So, well, a nice 1-to-1 even Steven kind of play.
Throne locked out though for the next two rounds could prove a bit detrimental for Underground. They've got to go somewhere else. It's going to be Initiation and Office, it seems, as their choice of bomb sites. This one, again, can be a bit 50-50. Can be incredibly easy to take on the attack and hold on to, but can also be incredibly hard to push into. So it really, there's a lot of pressure on both these teams to make it clean on Office and Initiation.
And defuse as many bombs as they can.
Yeah, well, now comes the question for me, Panda, here for this very map in general. We already seen, so round, or I guess you could call it attempt number 1, goes into the hands of AZ. Attempt number 2 goes into the hands of Underground. Do we see this kind of trend continue throughout the whole of the first half? Or is it just kind of more so a one-time hiccup and then we keep on going with Underground possibly dominating it? Because, I mean, with the way how Altadel has been playing, they still relatively equally matched.
I don't know, I mean, I think you got to go off last week, of course. The fact that Underground were down 5-1 and then brought it back 6 rounds in a row, sorry, to then win the match before going to overtime. So I think, again, the scales just lean that little bit more towards the side of Underground. Altadel, though, we're going to be happy if they prove us wrong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, for Altadel, I mean, the lineup that they are bringing in does allow you to have a really good, just very momentum-based push. Play off the back of the Finker boosts plus the, I nearly said Iana Candelas, no, the Ying Candelas, and you got yourself quite a spicy combo. A good overall run and a good overall kind of pace that could be set that very much though still depends on you obviously hitting your shots, but under the guise of those Candelas, you could find that initial emphasis really, really good, and that initial kind of fortification of your positions.
Not to mention the 4 smokes that they're bringing to the table as well. This could get very hectic if Underground aren't prepared. And yes, they've got the Wemai and the Jaeger in play, but when you've got, what, 4 smokes dumped out, 4 Candelas dumped out, to 3 stuns from Fakers, there is not a lot of lines of sight that you can actively contest with such limited visibility. And I mean, Oceania seem to want to push through control. That seems to be their priority for this push.
Indeed. Well, curious to see how will this really play out, given that already the drop down has happened. It's been already going in full send, albeit not a whole lot of presence. Oh, that grenade could be potent if it works out. No, he peeks out, doesn't want to just full length send it, and the shotgun from MML claims a double actually here for himself. Maybe a triple it will be. Can he find a third, or rather, well, fourth? And instead, well, forced to fall back off the back of the... Oh, that's a trade.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for Altitelios, round 3 is an absolute wash in the favour of Underground Esports Club. They take it, they lock it down, and they will take the advantage on top of it. Initiation Office, a great success off of MML's solo play.
Well done by MML, yeah, that hold and the play. The initial swing to get rid of the frag grenade has been great. And, well, yeah. It is what it is for Altitelios. Unfortunately, yeah, again, they kind of made that similar mistake how it was before, where they just kind of pushed in one by one and, well, funneled right into the hands of MML, and just about quick enough for him to rechamber another round in the shotgun. So, as it stands, yeah, Underground they basically just knowing their pacing and knowing what they can do, what they can't do, and just playing into their strengths, basically.
I think we've hit a bit of a turning point here, Cthulhu, as you can see by the attacking operators. Altitelios understand the situation they find themselves in, and we are starting to see the key components of this roster unleashed, as it were. Rice on the Nook, Mackenzie picking up the Zofia, KT on the Lion. 3 operators that could do a lot of damage. KT, unfortunately, to switch it out for a Sledge instead, but I mean, if that Lion was in play with a Nook, and oh no, this is about to hurt.
Yeah.
If AZ pulled this off.
You were saying that the previous lineup was looking spicy. This one is even spicier. The Ying Candelas, the KB calls as well. And then, well, that whole the deadly trio, the Finker, the Nook, and the Zofia. So, yeah, look, I'm definitely curious to see how it will really work out, given the volatility and that kind of swing potential. Good job on the drone work as well from Rice and Co. Just making sure that they get rid of all of those yokai drones as quickly as possible. Curious to me that... Actually, yeah, I was about to say that only from one side we see the push, but yeah, Banana already made the entrance into the barrels as well. Now the main question is, how will he deal with the presence around the balcony? Because a simple reswing from the balcony from the top end, that is, well, that's the whole L handed into you.
But the scary thing right now has to be that Mackenzie might be able to get control of Yellow Stairs for free. There is no one, it seems, contesting that angle. He's down in the bathrooms. There is a player sort of holding around the vending machine's hallway, being a Razor on the Jaeger. But for the most part, that position is completely unscouted. We already hear one of those logic bombs going off. Rice is looking to get himself in, and they're making that push together. Mackenzie gonna be heading up the stairs with Rice, 2 of them on the angle. There is 0 information on these 2 players currently.
Well, already in comes the push. Cripsy actually full sends it. And, I thought that it would be a push from the cafe. Instead, it's actually directly through the hatch, and somehow she still manages to run away with the majority of her health points, courtesy as well of that boost from Finker. So as it stands, this is actually a very unconventional, very weird take of the arcade. But look, it works.
Ben is waiting on that door. Candela's deep onto the balcony, but it's Mackenzie to open up with a kill onto JPK. First off the board. This could get very chaotic very, very soon. The utility dump is going too far in daycare. There is resistance. Pinku deep in towards break as well. Going to be forced off his shield for the moment. Rice clearly cleans up Zuve. as they are just picking these defenders apart. Spray on the Pinku's good, but it's traded back almost immediately. MML, but KT has found 2 in the round, and it's only getting worse. MML forced back in towards break, knows that there's players pushing in, a Benzuka, unfortunately will fall. They know this possession, and Rice closes it. Altered Zelios, I mean, absolutely dumps it in the last 2 rounds, come back in the fourth and say, hold on, this is not how we play things out.
Absolutely. No, that was a good return to form by Altered Zelios. That sort of play, look, albeit I doubt that you can find any sort of consistency in that kind of performance, but it's a good way to kind of get yourself reset on the momentum and get yourself reset on the mental as well. So props to them. They are seeming to be actually now doubling down on the pain, given that the pick of the DKB and Lion now comes in. And we all know how annoyingly frustrating that combo is. And on top of that, I mean, you bring the Finker, but actually yes, do bring the Finker, the Zoff and the Nook. Yeah, look, a number of issues going to start stacking up.
Main problem I see, not a single hard breacher on the board. So there is potential, some unfortunate shenaniganry. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so KT forsaking the Lion, going for a Thermite instead. So they will have the options to open things up, plus Faker bringing the Twitch instead of the Docker B. And we've already seen what he can do with that F2.
Yeah, look, F2 still could be a very potent one, but yeah, very much of a kind of a return to a relatively basic setup. But because I believe Underground would have only seen the Lion and the Docker, so they don't see the actual switch from to Thermite and the Twitch, they would be expecting and probably setting themselves up for that aggressive play in a similar way how KT just rushed herself into the in through the hatch. So I'm thinking Altered Zelios might just have their number if, you know, they can play their cards right and if they don't funnel themselves one by one.
Well, Rice already going to be opening up Cafe. I would imagine he's more of a misdirect than anything, and yeah, look at the push in through Workshop already.
That could be big.
This could be absolutely massive. If Underground haven't accounted for it. 4-man stack. The Twitch needs to go, and they've already cleared out that panel. The exothermic's going to be going out. The impact is not going to connect. It's a rush. Mackenzie's in. Do they know there's a player close right? They do now. That's a kill. Benzuka on the floor, but should have a stim in just a moment. Toxicanus is not in position. The plant is already going down in the first minute. The boost needs to come. Ben, get yourself up. He's about to fall. Eraser behind. Fakers with the knife to shut him down. And somehow Underground find themselves in a significant deficit. JPK coming in from the flank. Finds one before being shut down. They take Zuve. MML left alone behind the throne. Spots KT, but she says none of that, buddy. Altered Zelios with a massive rush play. They even called attack themselves.
Oh my lord, what an absolute frag fiesta we got to see here from Altered Zelios. My goodness. And yeah, look, understandably so after that one, the adrenaline rush for Ben just called it for a bit of a, you know, natural kind of attack pause. The nature called, and well, he needs to respond that one, because otherwise a missed call would be rather frustrating.
He's got to reload the Benzuka, unfortunately.
Got to reload the Benzuka.
But we do head to Office, which is that second site that Underground were able to pick up for themselves. But we are guaranteed, you know, sort of minimum, a 3-3 half, which Underground would not have expected coming into this playday.
Honestly, I'm quite keen to see that. Look, already once again we are looking at yet another bit of a mental game, I suppose, possible gymnastics by Altered Zelios as the tag timeout does run out. Do we get to see the same kind of bait and switch with the DKB and the Lion, though? That is the one thing, because look, I kind of mentioned initially that you can't really sustain the rush mentality. I think actually I may have been wrong, and it's Altered Zelios that could be the only team that could sustain this kind of thing.
Yeah, we might be sending the full Tom Sawyer tonight. Round 6, final of the half. Altered Zelios attacking into Initiation Office. And it was largely shut down by MML and his solo effort on the smoke last time, holding down control room, not workshop, control. He found a massive kill onto, I believe it was KT with a Ying. It wasn't. It was Rice on the Yana, mid grenade throw, and then pushed up, took the ground for himself. and denied the push in its
I
entirety.
think it was Banana.
Banana playing Iana?
On a pinker.
Possibly. I don't know. There was
Professional
someone.
casters,
There
by
was
the way.
someone with a grenade. There was 3 rounds ago. You can't expect me to remember that far. You know that much back.
Yeah.
I'm not Dev Marta. I don't have a track sheet on, ready to go round to round.
Oh man. Look. Still yet to see some sort of response because again, like I mentioned before, Underground, they have stability, but in that stability they seem to have just about a very similar pattern. And it, maybe, just maybe, Altadelius were able to find that very pattern to, use and abuse. Question being is how UG can respond to that and how quickly can they do that, because again, it's basically the same lineup that they are bringing in. With Zuve out of the equation, that is a big opener by Rice, and already found the frag and then dipped away.
McKenzie going to be tagged over towards Cash, but for now he's still alive and there is an opening for him to potentially contest, and JPK is going to be bitten. It's just an absolute wash of Altered Zelios kills. They know that one is over towards vending, one is in the vault. They've locked him down. Rice pitching in, shuts down Eraser. They shut the round out. Altered Zelios are up 4-2 going into the defensive half.
My goodness, that is a clean performance here from Altered Zelios. Such a strong play, and actually the whole team performing. And surprisingly enough, Rice is also performing.
Yeah, look, it once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, but when it happens, it is a terrifying thing to behold. And speaking of terrifying things to behold, we head to Armory Throne and Valkyrie being in play.
I'm looking at both ends, honestly. Look, on the side of the defense, the Valkyrie and the Maestro being brought out. On the side of the offense, it's the Jackal and the Buck. So a plethora of vertical gameplay that could be instilled, which could be rather interesting to watch. But in saying that, actually, wait. Pretty sure Eraser and JPK actually swapped the roles on the operator, because pretty sure I remember Eraser actually maining the Zoff on some of the previous matches. But maybe it's well, both of the roles between Eraser and JPK are relatively interchangeable.
We do see sometimes operator roles will change map to map, but right now...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I reckon actually... Look, I mean, remember... Yeah, look, that's busted. Remember Underground? They were 5-1 as well on their defense on Clubhouse, and then came back on the offense. I'm tempted to say that they could do the very same thing here.
Yes and no. I mean, 2 different maps though. Clubhouse is a known quantity, theme park less so, and has for the longest time lent more to the defensive side of things. Yes, there are so many avenues to get into the building, but you look at the defensive setup for each of these sites for a team like Altered Zelios, that's where things could get very, very scary. And Underground, I think they realise that. They're not going in with the wanton aggression that we saw out of Altered Zelios, and I think they would be foolish to do so.
Exactly so. I mean, Zelios are, like you pointed out before, they're a team that thrives on chaos, so yeah, it would be rather surprising to start seeing them get complacent and get all too comfy with the same kind of strat, but I mean, we'll say that the rushes were quite plentiful, albeit, well, we could be seeing some change in the momentum in the pacing. Already a nice entry, top floor, by Underground, making sure that they establish a really good foothold. Not a whole lot of presence, matter of fact, none, bar Banana.
Old Ben sitting in behind the cafe.
Ben, just chilling in the cafeteria. Good kid finds the better of the Zuve.
Ben, what are you doing?
My man's chill, please.
He knows there was pressure, so he's been given the call. McKenzie says, just
I'm out.
Head down to lab, bro. I got you covered. We're all good.
No
Eraser
way.
falls to McKenzie as well. The man who thrives on the chaos gets up in the face of opponents. They lose Rice, but let's be perfectly honest. They can afford that kill at the moment. Well, McKenzie somehow gets back down yellow. Hit with the concussion, he's being encroached upon. MML will take him down. We're back in the 3 versus 3, but you look at how tagged MML is.
Yeah, MML is tagged. Pinko and JPK, though, they have almost full utility, minus JPK's launcher. Still has 2 of the claymores, matter of fact, 4 claymores, 6 claymores, sorry, I just only started, counting them all up. That is a lot of flank watch that could have been established. And against full-on running around Altered Zelios, this could be deadly. JPK already has the sights trained on this position, about to go for a swing. Wonder if there was a drone sitting around there, or if it's just purely off the back of the sound cues.
Oh,
Banana!
Oh,
Banana! Absolutely slams UG. Yep, you know, that's understandable. That's deserved. The man earned that teabag.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Altered Zelios might be kingmakers here in Play Day 6.
Lord.
They could hand Team 7 first place on a platter. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Oh my God. Look, if I would have been told that this would have been the way how these two teams would perform, I would be rather shocked. But the way how they've been doing this, understandably that Underground want to take a tag, because yet again, we're getting to that 5th point, the infamous point where Underground once again at 5-1 scoreline took a tag and then managed to bring themselves back because they were starting to get into their heads.
The crazy thing is we've seen 2 tag pauses, one from each team, both out of desperation, but for different reasons. One because Ben was desperate to get to the toilet, and Underground because they're desperate to get themselves back into this game, having lost the last 4 rounds in a row. I don't think the pain train stops for them here, unfortunately.
I suppose we'll have to see. I mean, we've seen some magical things happen to teams after attack pause, so I suppose have to wait and see for how will round out number 8 really evolve. But I mean, speaking of evolution, we already have a Capcan for Banana. We have a Valkyrie for Rice. The rest of the team are all sitting nice and pretty on their usual suspects, but I'm thoroughly excited for this now.
I mean, Ben, the peak of his LPL pro career, and it wasn't even with a shotgun, unfortunately. That was a massive lineup. If not for that, I think that could have definitely swung back in favour of Underground. Not to be when Ben is on the job, and yeah, the Capcan could be absolutely deadly. MML picking up the Twitch though, so I mean, they have the options to try and deal with that utility. Whether or not they check their doorways is a different story in its entirety. But right now, Altered Zelios are 2 rounds away from taking down 2nd place to Underground Esports Club.
Absolutely. Underground. I mean, they have all of the lineup, they have the setup for their push, for their play to happen. But again, the moment they get complacent with their ops, get a little bit too comfortable with kind of trying to instill their own pacing out of all the teams, trying to do that against Altered Zelios is probably the biggest mistake that you could ever make. But we've seen some of the bigger teams even best Altered Zelios. And with already an entrance being made into the cash room, we could actually see a really good pace to finally start being instilled by Underground Gaming. But in saying that, well, there's McGood kid, aka Mackenzie.
Yeah, he's watching that long angle into the bathroom. It's a razor though to find the first kill onto Ben, unfortunately.
Rather unfortunate.
I thought it was the jiggle peak that had secured the kill there, but no, I was debated. No Capcan, but again, not the end of the world. Your trap's already out, you lose out on the Nitro cell. Luckily though, actually I was going to say Ben could be sitting on the cameras, but they lose KT and Mackenzie in quick succession. Now, in the first half of the round, Rice free kill there. Okay, thank everything. If it whiffed on that, that would have been horrendous. Luckily, Faker's there as well. We'll find a follow-up kill.
Shotgun.
Has the shotgun in hand.
Surely.
Might just be able to do more damage. And Rice, the relocate, knows that there's somewhere initiation. He's on the flank, distracting. Fakers might just be able to do some damage here. And he finds JPK. Will be traded out immediately. Rice is outside. There is a player running down Dragon Stairs, but MML pulls off the angle, goes for the swing, and it will be a goal to Zelios! No! The EDD!
What? An EDD from the grave!
Even Rice has no idea what's going on!
And now we look at Underground.
I thought that was a trade!
There was a trade. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. But man, did Altered Zelios just, absolutely pull the heist there.
I didn't realize they were playing Payday 2.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
That's it. That's the round of the stage. Forget the rest of them.
Look, round of the stage, match of the stage. Honestly, for Altered Zelius. That is, out of all the matches that we had seen, I genuinely have to say this has to be the highlight.
From dying first to winning the round.
Yep. Yep. It's a double stack Capcan trap as well.
Ben for MVP. No, forget the rest of them. Who?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Ben is never going to let anyone live that down.
Yeah, that is his legacy at this point. Honestly, but here's the funny thing now. Because before, last week, when we were talking to MML during the interview, 1 to 5, they went into attack, tried to get themselves reset, won the round, that got their mental back.
Yeah.
They just lost that round in the most phenomenally awkward way possible.
Mental is signed, sealed, delivered.
How do you recover from there? And you could see that the soul left the bodies of 4 out of 5 of the underground players. What do you do after that?
Honestly, I understand 100%. If that was me in that situation, knowing that your opponents were 1 round away from map point, yeah, no. All right, go next. Go next.
Oh my lord. Oh my god. Just.
These guys, Underground beat Odium, by the way. They beat the 2 OCN teams coming to this competition at the start of the stage. By the way.
Oh, there's the preset C4 as well from Banana. Oh, this could be big. Oh, I'm actually excited.
Mackenzie's on the cams, so they have the info.
Surely.
I think they may have just cleared that one out. I heard a Gone 6 from the sounds of it. You can see there is a hole in that floor as well. Whether or not it is going to go through, the cams are there. I think it may. Yeah, I think it has been cleared out here. They will get the cam as well. So pushing through that utility, unfortunately not going to hit its mark, but the gun's still in play. Rice tucked into daycare could really do some damage. Mackenzie there as well. A couple of cheeky crossfires that could well and truly upset Underground.
Exactly that. Well, already.
Oh no!
They're already in on site. No, the lineups was there. It does at least result in a trade, but scary swings, scary peaks here. Mackenzie might just get bamboozled here as well. Decides to fall back. There's still a really good set of angles actually set up to watch out for those pushes. The drone, I believe, still around the construction area, but look at this sheer just concentration of underground players. Sure, maybe even the C4 play could have been big, but that's not yet. Banana, though, on the flank around.
Oh, they just pulled it. Oh, Eraser's watching the angle. Nah, I think Ben might just give away his life here. No, Ben, come on. Does he see the hand? Yes, he does! Ben is not done yet. And with Eraser removed, it's frag grenades, that's so much utility. Things are just spiraling out of control for Underground Esports Club. We go into the final 30. The push needs to happen, but you look at all the angles, you look at the positions that are being held. Ben is going to be forced off, take some damage, but KT tucked into the corner. Fake is there as well. There are limited options for Underground. They need to make a desperate push. Line up for, no, it's a team kill. It could not possibly get worse. Ben is good for 1. But Pinku might be the redeeming fact. He's going to find 2. Ben and KT can hide. Pinku needs to force a plant. There's just too many angles to worry about. And KT will take the round and the map. Altered Zelius, what an upset.
Oh my goodness. A dub. A very scrumptious one whilst at it. Altered Zelius completely dethroned Underground and stating their record beyond all recognition.
Wow. Wow. Team 7.
Wow.
Well and truly locked in first place. Rice going 11-4 on the day. Who could have predicted that?
I'm stunned about it. Just the whole setup as it is, because starting that whole round, first of all, those last 2 rounds. First of all, we start things off with the fact that the second to last round looked completely dire, completely all lost out. What was it? 1v2 with, what was it? Rice's position.
Yeah, no one. MML knew where he was.
It was there. And we actually, matter of fact, yeah, that's a good point with that replay as well. We started off with a good set of good trades of rounds, with a good set of clutches from Rice as well. And then, once we came down to this kind of round, this is where the turning point, this is where we've thrown out the whole script out of the window, said, goodbye, have a good one, thank you, Underground, for playing.
You know what the crazy thing is? So this is reverse trajectory of what we saw from Underground last week. Found themselves in that position. They then won 6 rounds in a row to close it out. They get 2. They get given the 2, and Altazelius are like, nah, not happening today, boys.
Not today. Oh man, that was a crazy match. Genuinely an enjoyable one. Look, probably not as enjoyable for Underground given their circumstances. But regardless, I mean, it's not just yet, a tragic outcome for them, because they're still a team that could really reclaim some of the top positions. I still reckon they could be, or matter of fact, they are a team that can very much stay in the top 4. So, look, whilst it's upsetting, yes, it's annoying to take an L the way how they did right here. It was still it's a loss whilst they still solidifying themselves in the top end of the leaderboard.
I mean, not only that, but they've given us one of the highlight matches of the stage. That was huge from Altazelius. And I mean, the unsung hero of the entire map, Banana. Out of nowhere, yes. Who would have thought? I mean, he didn't play, a single shotgun the entire map. He was just sort
diligent,
of... He played the game properly for once.
Yeah, he was the weirdest part. Yeah, the moment he played on, on his best behavior, he again managed to fiend it out. As weird as it sounds. I mean, that peak on the arcade stairs on the last round, my goodness.
Look, match 1, it delivers. It delivers in a big way. But right now, we're going to throw it to a break. When we come back after, we're looking to jump into our second match of the evening, and that one in itself should be a rather interesting one. Team 7 versus 1620 Kings coming up after the break. We'll see you soon.
なぜいつもここに来るんですか？フルーツならデリバリーもできます。お金もあるんですし。
金持ちはただ待っていると？私をそんな風に見ていたのか。
いえ、でもここは人が多すぎます。
お前は信頼できる子だが、 少し肩の力を抜いたらどうだ。でないと大切なものを見落としてしまうぞ。この果物とかね。これを一つ。ヒロ、どうした？震えている。
伏せて。
お。
ここに。
私の家に忍び込むなんて自殺願望でもあるの？
久しぶり、由美子。八幡さんが。
ええ。話は聞いたわ。
見覚えは？手伝ってもらう。仇は必ず撃つ。
Get ready for the final round. Match in overtime.
Demilitarize the game. Are you a betting man, Harry?
Do you assume I favor one side over the other? You know me better than that, Sam.
Tango in my sights.
Now it's time for New Belt Nitro Signal, and he fell for it! He's looking to give coverage for his teammate, right? Can he lock it down? Yes, he can, but the swing's in. Triple for Shaq. No time! Pun has to swing in. Jordy's pulled up. He's around.
Camera in position.
Get behind me!
Tango located.
Hostiles in sight!
Coming back from the break, Cthulhu, you know what's wild?
What?
With that win, Altered Zelios have given Team 7 potential to be kings going into the final week of play. If Team 7 win here, they are first, locked in. It doesn't matter what they do in the final week of play. But before we get to that, Cthulhu, we have some fun, funky news. There's that Twitter giveaway going on, remember? So we could definitely have a look at that. We have one on your screen. I think Vigil's K1A needs a buff. I personally think Vigil is underrated, and since Vigil and I share a lot in common, we are both men, have no fathers, I feel like it would be great for my Spirit Operator to get a buff. Vouch. We don't see enough Vigil in play, and maybe if he had the dad buff, I mean, we saw what the name buff could do, maybe a dad buff would help too.
That is to be built to.
Great tweet. Remember, you still have a chance. You can still get in. Use the hashtag on your screen. Try and get yourself some credits. We've had 2 tweets. That was one of them. The other one wasn't as good, I'm going to be perfectly honest.
I mean, it was decent.
We do have some news, though. We've had another forfeit. Unfortunately, the Warriors could not field a full 5-man roster, so we are going to be going into our final match of the evening, that being Team 7 versus 1620 Kings. And like we said, if Team 7 win, they are locked in first.
Yeah, I'm actually really keen for this one because in kind of a similar way, Team 7 are kind of that on the rise. They managed to actually show us some really good performances, especially against the Warriors last week. So now going in against another Challenger League team that is 1620 Kings, a team that has been, again, kind of being on and off, especially in LPL Pro with switching around quite a fair few of the players around in their roster. They have been hitting some inconsistencies, but when they are feeling themselves in the game, they can perform.
And speaking of inconsistencies, you know what's not inconsistent? You want the Rocket Magma Membrane RGB keyboard. It is one of the best on the market, and we've got one in the producer room. It's pretty sweet, let's be perfectly honest. Make sure you go check it out. It's available now from Rocket. Let's get on into the teams, though. 1620 Kings up first. Coming into today, Chef, Jeff, Machine, KJ, Physics, and Jacko. No test this week, but again, Machine still currently holds the kill record in LPL Pro.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, Machine back. Physics was able to show us some really good performance as well. Chef Jeff, you know, the moment he's in his game, in his kind of mindset, he can absolutely go ballistics. And KJ and Jacko being put to, I suppose, on semi-support roles. Could really work out quite well. So 1620 Kings still not in the tippity top kind of 5-man core setup, but it is a roster that could still really push to the absolute limit their opponents. Now, on the other hand, though, Team 7, it's a team that initially had a really big hiccup, and after that, oh boy, they went ballistic.
And here they are, the Demon Stack themselves, Campo, Phoenix, Sealy, Khan, and Worm. So unfortunately, we won't be seeing his TM this week, but I mean, look, one win, and they are locked in the first seed going into playoffs. And that's not an opportunity you want to miss out on.
Look, yeah, opportunity is certainly there. I am quite curious as to what did facilitate the, the fact that UZTM is not present for tonight. But apart from that, look, it's a roster that has seen a really good performance, namely Sealy, namely Campo with some of the performances, even Worm. You know, at the very beginning, in his very first introduction to LPL Pro, he's seen a little bit of a bit of a kind of all over the place performance, but he was able to actually set himself into a really nice spot on the team as well.
Let's have a look at our head-to-head for the final match of the evening. And, well, it's 2 demons in the server, let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. It's Machine and Sealy, both incredibly capable of putting up numbers. Unfortunately for Sealy, though, he's against the player who has the most numbers so far this season.
He's against the man who's also looking and built like a mountain as well.
I mean, they're two. I mean, Machine could quite easily pick Sealy up and throw him across the room. So I think it's lucky for Sealy that we're playing Siege and not wrestling right now. This is definitely going to be a matchup for the stage. I'm so excited for it. Team 7, like you said, on the rise. 1620 Kings have, honestly, they've had a similar run to Altered Zelios. They could be the ones to upset them.
Yeah, exactly. This is in a very similar case. And I mean, look, map as well will be a really good decider as to where we could be seeing, what kind of action could we see happen as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what will be done, what both the teams will be able to, and how will they perform, because again, 1620 Kings, it's basically on them to make this a close matchup.
Let's see where they will be playing at the final match. I've got some news, Cthulhu. I've got some good news indeed. We're doubling down. We're going back-to-back theme park. I mean, look, why would you not? The roller coasters, the carnival food, and why not want you to want to stay? Corn dogs and cotton candy galore. We are going to what's new. And look, speaking of what's new, Cthulhu, LPL has something new coming your way as well. We've got a new competition on the cards that will be starting up just in, in the next, I believe, from what I've been told, the next month or so. It is, it's a bit of Clash Royale coming your way, and there's a chunky prize pool to go with it.
there's a really big prize pool coming up with it as well. I believe $12,000 reduce on the line, and you can definitely sign up with a link that is just about to be on the screen as well. Let's Play Live, LetsPlay.Live/events/182, and well, there you go. Go get that stuff signed up, and well, keep that stuff tight, son.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've got some friends that play it as well, and they're super keen for this.
Oh, yeah, they're fiending.
I mean, how would it be, you know, LPL Pro Clash Royale player in ANZ? That's a pretty, not to mention the money as well. I mean, clout is great and all, but let me look, Cthulhu. With that all said and done, we are going to be heading back to Theme Park once again. Team 7, 16-20 Kings. I mean, what's your make or break point with these two teams?
Honestly, I think the main key here is that both of the teams would have to kind of play into that, suppose, element of chaos. Because we've seen, even on the good example of the Underground versus AZ, AZ kind of kept it rather snappy, whilst the general kind of gist and the idea of the operator picks kind of served kind of the very same idea, the way how they've pushed, the way how they played. It was always a little bit of a change-up, a different poke from one position or the other position. It's always kind of kept the other team guessing. Whereas with Underground, it was very much kind of a set pace, set, I suppose, pattern as well with the defenses. So it was relatively easy to read it without even needing to, per se, drone all the time. Whereas when we saw Underground on the attack, you could see the general abundance of those drones when they were forcing themselves to slow down before they even get to swinging. So in that regard, I think similar case could be addressed here as well. Team 7, a team that is very heavy on the fragging potential on those swings, not a whole lot of, I nearly said not a whole lot of that organized play, a whole lot of strat play, but in the recent days, they have been able to show us actually a pretty good performance.
I mean, it's not particularly deep in the strat book, though, that's the thing. Well, unfortunately, we've just been told there are some minor issues on the players' end, so we're going to throw it to a quick break. When we come back, hopefully they're ready and we can jump on into the theme park. We'll see you back soon.
なぜいつもここに来るんですか？フルーツならデリバリーもできます。お金もあるんですし。
金持ちはただ待っていろと？私をそんな風に見ていたのか。
いえ、でもここは人が多すぎます。
お前は信頼できる子だが、少し肩の力を抜いたらどうだ。でないと大切なものを見落としてしまうぞ。この果物とかね。これを一つ。ヒロ、どうした？震えているぞ。
伏せて。ここに。
私の家に忍び込むなんて自殺願望でもあるの？
久しぶり、由美子。八幡さんが。
ええ、話は聞いたわ。
見覚えは？手伝ってもらう。仇は必ず撃つ。
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still getting things underway. The ball is rolling. We're going to be there in just a moment. But Cthulhu, we're coming into this matchup, 1620 Kings, Team 7. Team 7 are top of the table. They are locked in. They are good to go. And you know what else is good to go? We've got another tweet, funnily enough. It is going to be broken. The weapon he reckons that needs a buff is the Spear 308, because the only person who can compensate for that recoil is Zane, R6S from, I believe, Team Vertex, if I'm not wrong, and his massive biceps and thunder thighs. I can confirm, having seen him play and seeing his cam, Yeah, he is one of the few people that can make it work.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the only person who can do that.
Other than Banana, of course.
Other than Banana, of course, yeah. But honestly, yeah, look, understandably so. The spear do be needed
and
sometimes.
Tiltek,
Maybe
he was quite a fiend on that last year. Yeah,
true,
so
true.
maybe Zane isn't the only person, but he's one of the mains in the heart.
Yeah, look. With that said, though, I mean, we've speaking of the fiends, we've seen Team 7 and Sealy, namely, to be the fiend on the buck, and he will get plenty of that as we just about to go into Theme Park, the map that does occasionally pose quite a fair bit of that vertical gameplay.
Well, let's get on into it, of course. Let's jump back onto the theme park and send it for a bit more fun and fun-loving moments. I hope that we get just as much fun as we did in that last match. Maybe not necessarily for Underground's sake, but it makes for some great gameplay to watch.
Absolutely, yeah, look. A map that hasn't really seen a whole lot of that action. And, well, certainly we could be hoping to see some really, really good plays, a really good set of performances. But again, we would have to wait and see how it goes. The band's very important.
Jeff, Sky, do you enjoy doing this? Well, yes, he does. I mean, Sky loves it. He loves the game. He loves what he does. And, of course, oh dear. We're getting themselves into it. Team 7 on the defense first. We'll ban that Trout. And, well, look, unfortunately, no love for the SAS operator. But you know who does get a bit of love? Old NZMA and their esports course that they put together with the NZQA. It's approved by them as well. So if you are looking for some credits, you can get involved with that. Learn some more about the basics, behind-the-scenes stuff from the esports side of things. Finka banned out, so no Spear 308, unfortunately.
Yeah, Sage Broken would be rather upset about that one. But honestly, I'm quite excited to see how will the rest of the matchup really happen because...
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. Alibi gone out of the equation. We were talking actually in the previous matchup that Alibi could have been a big pig, but...
So he can balance machine.
Look.
Understandable.
Understandable. Mira out of the equation seems to be, well, between herself and the Thatcher, the only two normal bans, but 1620 Kings definitely, well, decided to throw a whole big spanner in the works. But it's good to see that on the side of both the rosters, it's all smiles, it's all good memes to be had, so good to see that both teams in good form and good spirits. So going into this one, Armory once again is going to be our beginning pick, and oh boy, Machine is bringing out the sauce from the get-go.
I mean, this is
actually,
one of
the whole roster is bringing out the sauce. I just realized.
This is one of the few maps, though, where you can sort of get away with it. I mean, you look at Break Room in particular. You send an Armoro in there aggressively, get control through bunk. It sort of works, unfortunately. But
unfortunately, hello.
No, sorry. Talk about Ants getting into Jacko's PC. Ants is actually, you know, one of the people behind the scenes at 1620 Kings. I hope he hasn't got into Jacko's PC. That'd be a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
But what we see left in the pool, of course, is the Kaid. Without the Thatcher on the board, this gets a bit difficult.
Yeah, Kaid could actually be a big spanner in the works of 1620 Kings, given that, yeah, we did see Kaid missing out from the last matchup, and it did kind of help a whole lot for the momentum play. Well, Phoenix hitting a little bit of that packet loss there as well, hitting that bot walk for a brief moment. But I'm actually quite keen to see what could be done. Campo back on his own shenanigans, playing basically this like a casual.
I mean, Campo did clutch up last week for the team. Oh, good night, physics!
Gee, and that's the Jackal as well out of all of the operators. The one op that you do not want to lose out. Still though, plenty of breach utility is still there. KJ is still there. Machina's with the secondary hard breach.
Now Cthulhu.
Yes.
You throw your mind back a couple of weeks. Banana making tacos. Hell of a night for the team. What did we have before the broadcast?
Tacos.
We went and had tacos.
Yes.
Maybe that's the key.
Maybe that's the key indeed. Look, I mean, the tacos that we actually found were actually quite neato as well. High quality.
Maybe that's the essence of quality Rainbow Six gameplay is the tacos and making sure you got yourself nice and fed. Unfortunately for Jeff, it is going to be a trade against Worm, so that player deficit will remain.
Yeah, well, again, not the kind of operator that you would want to lose out IQ gone out of the equation. Still, Jacko, KJ, and Machine could still do plenty of work. There's still frag grenades, 3 of them, as a matter of fact, in the hands, make it 2. KJ completely gone. T7 looking very dominant so far with the way how they're playing. Machine, is that man's all right?
Hey, he's too deep in the sauce, I think. The caffeine is hitting a bit different right now.
Dry scooping the caffeine straight away.
He's just got a pile of it on his desk. He's just taking mouthfuls where he can. But a 4-2 player deficit, a minute 20 on the cards. So, I mean, there is possibility that Jacko and Machine could do something. Big damage on the Phoenix. Jacko is going to hit the Owen form right now. Jacko, no! You've got absolutely no right to be hitting that.
He still hit it. He still hit that. And now in comes the G8. The absolute laser beam of death that it is.
Oh, what?
And he hits a Kobe as well onto Sealy. Jacko feeling in the form, and even Chef Jeff is absolutely confused. Wait, Jacko, no, that's not how you whip a shot after we started praising you, my man.
The talent, the absolute talent. Machine is dying of laughter right now, 100%. Jacko just hits the sickest kill in his life and then goes and does that. 30 seconds in play. Toxic canisters, 1 remaining, so there might be a bit of overlap for Machine to make something happen. Karma for the teabag, yeah, 100%. 100%, that was karmic justice. Machine is going to push in, goes to the jiggle, almost hits the shot. Wants to get aggressive, he's low, he's incredibly low, goes to the alternate angle, not going to find it. 15 seconds in play, he's got to force something. And unfortunately, Campo, he started the round off, we'll close it out, but what a round it was.
Oh, man. Just roller coaster of emotions, and I love to see that. I love to see that, and good to know that, well, Team 7 are still hitting their form quite well.
It's also good to know that Jacko's crouch button works.
Yeah, crouch button works rather well and very thoroughly tested, so not even the keys ghosting will really affect.
The unfortunate thing being is we're running replays now, so I would imagine that we've probably caught that on the replays, so that will be floating around. And you might even get to see it again later on.
Wait, I just realized my goofy laugh as well will be floating around somewhere there as well. Oh no!
You know it, you love it. It's LPL Pro, baby. We're going into round 2. Bunk daycare on the cards. It is what it is, and we embrace it openly. On the attack, though, we see something a little bit different for Physics. He's running the Blackbeard at the moment. Might change it out, but
one moment.
I mean, look, the drop shot Blackbeard works. Why would you not?
Yeah, true. True. Why wouldn't you want to try to replicate it? Look, I kind of rate actually the Blackbeard here. For Theme Park, I mean, quite a fair few windows to really play around, and even then, when trying to swing that tinfoil, at least it feels like a tinfoil shield, could still really save you, even against some of those jiggle peaks.
Are you trying to imply that Blackbeard is a conspiracy theorist? Running around with his tinfoil shield?
Yeah, to a certain degree. I could see him being the conspiracy theorist.
I mean, look, we're building up to something in the Rainbow Six program. Who can say what it is? We won't know until, you know, this coming weekend, of course. But right now, Campo, he's looking to take a slightly different angle. Worm, shout out to Worm's mum, who may or may not be watching in chat. She may not be. I mean, my mum's not, unfortunately.
My mum does.
Yeah, well, my mum's busy, unfortunately. She has something on a Wednesday. I'll have to ask her what it is, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Great son, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, no. No, what is this? No, this is a hot drop. This is going to be a hot drop. Theme Park is delivering tonight here in Playday 6.
Chef Jeff with the shotgun as well.
Let's drop. They're in. Straight through. Absolutely destroyed. Campo with the pre-play spikes. 3. And K16 are in shambles.
Tragic result, and understandably so. Look, that C4 worked out perfectly, pre-placed it all. Oh man, look, at least it's good to see that both the teams are having a good time here.
Campo wants the kill record now. He's got, what, 6, I think, so far in 2 rounds played. Oh no. Respect. You love to see it. Unfortunately, so do Team 7, because they knew exactly what to do.
It's good to see that, you know, those kind of friendly rivalries between the teams that just, you know, just here to have fun. That's the beautiful thing of it. Sometimes we end up getting lost in the sauce and trying to, you know, acquire the bag and missing out on the fun. These two teams, nah, they're all about the fun whilst acquiring the bag.
I mean,
not for 1620 Kings the acquiring the bag.
Oh look, they're acquiring the clips. It's all about the highlight reel at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, it's the unfortunate nature of 1620 Kings having such a volatile roster here in LPL Pro. I mean, week to week, it's not the same 5. And, well, Team 7, they've found their form. And if they pick up this win, they will lock themselves in for first to the end of the stage. The only team that could have beat them, unfortunately, lost to them, and then loses out on the head-to-head.
5 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, Team 7 so far has been...
When you ask who the MVP is for Team 7, it's Oceania.
Not wrong. With the way how that whole previous round, pardon me, the whole match was just an absolute roller coaster of emotions, of feelings, of plays. Gotta say, one of the most enjoyable matches I've seen for a while.
Oh, it was a hell of a match. I had a lot of fun. I definitely had a lot of fun. I know the viewers had a lot of fun. Apparently Broken had a lot of fun.
Apparently Mackenzie had a lot of fun as well.
Oh yeah, he was absolutely stoked about that. But right now, you know who's not having a bit of fun? It's K16. They are unfortunately down 0-2. Machine's cheating! He's tracing Jeff through the wall!
Clean trace, crisp, clean aim look out there from my man, Machine. Oh boy, look, at least we're already getting the scans in and no spawn peaks did happen, so 1620 Kings already counting their lucky stars at the very beginning of it all. But going into the cash room seems to be the beginning to their assault onto the theme park. Well, so far the only thing that actually got assaulted is Machine's think box, because it just got clean shaved off by Worminator.
Fair play to the one, you know, sleep-deprived, over-caffeinated admin on job who just heard us say he's cheating. He's not cheating. They're on the same team, by the way. Unfortunately, what is not going well is this push. Physics, though, he's good for 2. Brings it back to a 3 versus 3. No Finker in play makes this a pretty rough prospect, but the health bars are full across the board. Phoenix on the job with Campo and Sealy. The OGs of this roster are going to be a tough hurdle to overcome. Luckily, though, they're in the site, and Jacko's on the plant. Well, Jeff's dead, unfortunately. Phoenix pushing in is going to be traded. Physics good for 2. Make that 3 now in this round. This is absolutely huge. Campo with a deep nitro. Not going to connect on to anyone. 2 versus 2 in the post plant, and the favour is there for 1620 Kings. They should be able to hold this one out. Vasily on the flank finds the angle onto Physics. He's tagged low. Jacko's good for 1. They're both tagged. The impact nade could be enough. He's looking for the angle. He's not going to find it. Jacko just needs to connect the shot, but no! Sealy will make it 3 in a row.
That was a double claim on there as well. Man is sharp, but yeah, Sealy, the big MVP of Team 7, and certainly the player who managed to put Team 7 out there on the map of LPL Pros, certainly is able to come through with the goods yet again. A 3-0 scoreline so far is being sported by Team 7, a much cleaner performance comparative to what we initially seen from Oceania, albeit, well, it was only 2 rounds that they lost. From there on, they said, yeah, no more. Whether it was by an absolute magical thing of running at the same time into the Capcan trap as well by Underground, or just the sheer mechanical prowess of the whole roster, we're not going to talk about that just yet. But Team 7 so far, look, they keeping up the stability.
Armory thrown in the cards, and Jeff looking to bring something a little bit different into play. Not something that we've seen much on him before. The Monty hovered, but may not be locked in. Unfortunately, I think Jacko just needed to land 1 shot. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking stuff for 1620 there. And the double claymore didn't work. Who would have thought?
Yeah, bit of a sad. Maybe
what if you put it on opposite sides, maybe?
Maybe if it would have been, you know, one of them actually in the doorstep, and then the one on the actual diffuser would have worked a little bit more.
Owen, flashback to this one. Owen played Monty. Unless he's trying to bait out the Blackbeard, I don't know.
Maybe imagine if that is actually the mental game. Oh yeah, we're bringing in the Blackbeard XD.
I don't know what he's talking about. Monty doesn't have a shotgun. Like,
yeah, I'm a little bit lost about that one. Oh wait, maybe Because we did say, I think, one of the rounds to be played out in the kind of form of just Monty just going absolutely ballistic.
Nah, don't remember Owen playing Monty.
No, not Owen. Not Owen. I think it was either against Antic or Antic pulling out with, I think, Wazoo playing on the... Either way, you know, regardless, Chef Jeff a little bit needs to elaborate on this one, please.
Carney, unfortunately, has now signed the death warrant for his team, mentioning the forbidden game. His team will now lose. Of course, Jeff was. Of course, he plays too much of it, unfortunately. But right now, we're playing Siege. That's where we are. Mind not necessarily hard locked in, but right now, they're on the hunt looking for info.
Yeah, info is certainly there. Interestingly enough, only now we do see the entry into the building by 1620 Kings in hopes and dreams of finding at least some sort of an opening frag. But with the Phoenix play on the Warden, they could really, those could be rather elusive plays by him. As Campo actually just took a very chunky amount of damage. Wominator looking to swing, he swings, no, needs to pre-aim that one, mate, as Machine just completely just dumpsters him out of the equation. But that does leave Machine with half HP, no Finko on board either, so that's permanent damage.
Pre-fires through to the showers. Phoenix is there, wanting to rotate back and try and cut off this attack at the knees. Unfortunately, the chip damage on the Machine means that he is in a viable SWAT to be fragged out by Team 7. There is still 2 Nitros in play, plus those impacts from Sealy. So there is every possibility the Machine could go down before he even reaches the site. But look at it, the crouch on through. Nitro throw-in is going to be good on to Jacko, who was tucked in. Unfortunately, will also fall back at 4-4.
Curious how will the rest of the round really evolve, given that, well, back to 4v4, Phoenix's position is very key. I say that, instantly eliminated by physics. Clean performance by the man. Already the breach has been done. The Monty is about to go in for the push. 45 seconds remaining. Team 7 might just start getting pressured even more and more. Campo low on HP. Kane has been tagged up, so it could be quite a plethora of problems leading further to the conclusion of the round.
All SMGs in hand, no M590, so this could get a bit dangerous if they're not covering the angles, but Campo there for a kill on a KJ. Machine falls 2. It is now down to Physics and Jeff, who will eat a full impact grenade. Nitro is there for Carney. They have the option. Jeff is a bit isolated and doesn't really have many options available to him. 15 seconds in play. Limited support. They're going to spot the feet, the push through. Physics needs to hit some ripper shots, but there's too many angles and too much time, unfortunately, available to the defense. And well, Physics, he is going to save the KD for now. Is he going to be swung? No, he's not even going to save the KD.
What looked like a round that 1620 Kings could have taken rather convincingly, it didn't end up being one. And yeah, why have a Phoenix when you can have a Campo? Yeah, thank you, Phoenix. Very cool.
Well, I mean, Campo does have the age and the wisdom and the historic experience on the side that no one else in the server does.
Mute, not smoke. I didn't place a single mute jammer alpha male. Yeah, all right.
Sigma grind set. Look, we were even getting to see a bit of I Got Briefcases picked. The K1A coming out. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about the dad buff.
Yeah, the dad buff maybe later down the line will come. That's more so maybe a question of something to ping maybe the script writers for Rainbow Six Siege. Maybe a sudden...
So actually my question is, you know, Campo.bliss when?
It does have a ring to it.
And Todd is the coach. So, I mean, like, they had Spruce as the coach as well. So maybe just a cycling of ex-Kanga members.
Sealy.bliss?
I don't think he's going to be 18, unfortunately, before next stage.
Heck.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll settle for Campo.bliss. That's. Did Shimjeff actually earnest about the drone kill?
Campo.dynasty maybe. Get him back with Spruce.
I'm not too sure if Dynasty can be saved at this point.
Look, it is what it is. We'll move on.
Much love to the Dynasty boys.
Campo is looking to do it again. Unfortunately, Physics is too sharp. They will lose KJ, however, to the T5 SMG of Phoenix. Yeah. Campo has his KD cut in half.
Unfortunate turnout. Wominator was actually still around that balcony as well, trying to get some sort of a cheeky spawn peek. Unfortunately, well, couldn't find any for that matter. But hey, at least his team is currently leading 4-0, so that's a big dub to really look around for.
better KD than anyone K16 has. So you got to take it where you can. Jacko going to pop the window into break. G36 in hand. Does he go for the commit? Does he swing in? Because there are two people on the other side of that wall wanting to swing him, and they do. Sealy shuts him down. Jacko does not make it into the building.
Yeah. So far, all falling apart. Not looking particularly too good for K16, but they could still maybe take it
Phoenix.
over. Oh, that is a clean play. We've seen actually a number of really good sprays by Phoenix. Finally, this one did line up. Wominator to pitch it onto the whole limit as well. Yeah. Chef, you know, he's trying to have some fun. It's just, you see how tense physics now is all about that whole play. And
unfortunately, the biggest problem for Team 7 and trying to go for this kill record is they've done it too quickly. They haven't given themselves enough rounds to make it happen. So unless they then, you know, go up 5-1 in the half and then trade another 5 rounds, Physics going to eat an impact grenade. Is he going to eat another one? No. Unfortunately, it had been committed. Thrown out for a bit of bait and switch. There's a minute 12 left in this round. They are going to get aggro onto him. Phoenix will fall. Triple. Physics is going to have to ace clutch this if he wants to win. Does take the time to reload. He's going to pop the barbed wire. I think that's over towards bunk at the moment. Yeah, in bunk, not initiation. There's one in control as well. Physics is just going out of his mind trying to contest. Oh, he might have spotted the ankles there. The pre-fire, unfortunately, not going to be good enough. 45 seconds. This is doable. Crazily enough, the Banshee will give away the game. Pulls off the angle. Does he know? Does he know there's someone on the diffuser? He's got to know. He's got to know. Oh, Carney! Carney's still alive. Oh, no. The reload.
That's a problem.
Unfortunately, Sealy is there. That was so doable.
Yeah, that was doable. Unfortunately, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and the hard place is basically Celia, who just does not miss at all. That man is a machine when it comes down to aim.
The machine is on K16, bro.
Technicalities. But still, the man is an absolute fiend when it comes down to the aim game, and, well, once he does reach the age of being able to play in the higher end of the Siege competitive ecosystem, I reckon he could go rather big as well.
Rather big indeed. 5-0. 5-0 is pretty big.
That is also rather big, yes.
Initiation and office on the cards, 1.5. Potentially the penultimate round of the map, depending on how quickly Team 7 make the stairs. But currently the KD leader is Sealy with a 8.1.
8.1, yeah, rather solid.
8 and 8 and 1, rather, not 8.1.
Yeah. Oh, good, still.
I think that would be the KD record as well. The highest single KD in the match for LPL Pro this
If he doesn't die for the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, assuming that he doesn't get team killed by Campo to deny him the record.
I can actually see Campo do that. Actually, no, not Campo. I could see
any number of players on Team 7 doing that.
True, yeah. Chef Jeff on the Kali, though. Kowalski analysis.
It's a long run shotgun. It's like the Boss G, just better.
And it has more rounds as well.
Indeed it does.
But yes, you are correct. Yes, basically a long-range shotgun.
I've seen people use it for that as well.
It's a cursed gun, as it is, if you're trying to hit fire with it as well.
Not as cursed as the scope reticles on the outside of the scope at the moment, which has always been it's been a fun addition to the season.
Wait, didn't you know we have now projected the reticle outside the scope now?
Literally holographic, yeah.
Technology is there. It's just.
But so far, it's been a quiet start to the round. We're not seeing okay, hatch pop there. I was going to say we haven't seen any attempts at aggressive plays just yet from 1620. And
he popped it through the window.
Of course he did. Why am I not surprised? No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He's over here. He's on the rappel.
Oh, okay.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I guess.
Yeah, physics and maths not our strong point.
Trying to trace out. No, I think that's more so geometry at this point. Speaking of the geometry, well, Kane has an angle that could really play in rather well because Phoenix is there also for the crossfire in case the heat does come around. Drones are actually about to start finding a few positions. Surely Phoenix could be spotted, but rip the KD for Sealy, as we just about cursed him about that sort of performance and setup. But oh boy, in comes the swing.
KJ
he's swinging.
Finds Phoenix, and this is the closest I think we've seen 1620 Kings come to a round in the longest while. But Campo, too many options, will fall as well. And the plan is going down. Jeff with the Carly making it work. Carney wants to get it. How is Machine playing Nook? And he's not even inside the building. He finds a kill. The plan is... What is this round? Worm is going to find one back at least. Physics on the ground, so is Machine. 1 versus 2. It's going to be the ace clutch from Worm to try and make this one happen. But the plant is down over on the other side. Of course, initiation. He's going to pop the wall. Player tucked in towards the back, playing around the smokes. This could get a bit deadly. Another smoke out, and Worm's going to have next to no info to work with. Player in control, player tucked in. Worm needs to hit it, but he can't. KJ will secure 16-20's first round in the half and the match.
Still though, 5-1, yeah, you can see Chef just reading out the full-on lectures as to just how this nearly was thrown. But hey, you take the dubs where you can, but a 5-1 scoreline not particularly
Why is Jacko
ideal.
calling the tech pause?
Too sure either, really. Jacko needs to hear more enlightening talks from Chef Jeff, as now the faces have turned to a little bit more of a serious kind of note. Curious what is actually going in the camp of 16-20 Kings, whether they were even looking and intending to go in a full like for a serious play or not. But apart from that,
Worm is gone.
Yeah, Worm is gone. Worm is out there. Worm is just, getting maybe a beverage for himself.
He's off on an adventure.
I do want to say though, real quick, look at his setup. For the keyboard is literally right under the monitor. Where does the man's hands go?
Have you seen Machine set up? The guy is literally touching his nose to the monitor.
But understandable that with Machine he's probably got the keyboard behind the behind the monitor. So you basically applying basic geometries to fit in like a puzzle piece. With Worm's setup, is it like a quarter desk where he just keeps?
Yeah, thanks production. They gave us the info, a 45-degree angle on the keyboard, the answer to everything.
Thank you.
But I mean, there was also a guitar in the background there at Worm Shot. He does give me the vibes of someone who only plays Wonderwall though. So maybe we'll have to check that one out. Right now, a bit of spinning action from Machine. He's winding himself up. Wants to let the Beyblade go. Honestly, jeepers. Oh, are we even allowed that level of power in this? Oh, look, he's even got KJ going.
Friction.
Physics. We're back in physics territory.
Oh, Lord, he's spinning. Amidst all of that chaos of just whatever's happening in the heads of 16-20 Kings, I do have to give them props though. They're still being quite good sports in all of that, and the way how they play, how they conduct themselves.
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Oh,
Come
Jeff.
on, buddy, you need to go.
Jeff, buddy.
It's a drone. Nitro back. Is it no? He underarms it. Sad.
Pain.
How miserable indeed.
Oh, man.
He saw the opening onto the first player. I mean, look, he did 10 HP damage to Phoenix. Take it where you can.
That genuinely pained me. He's dead already. Sealy just shut him down. At this point, I think Chef Jeff just voluntarily gave away his life. C4 is out. That was an ambitious throw. Wait, did the impact trick actually work, or did the C? Oh no, wait, the second C4 actually.
No,
worked
it was
out.
Machine. It was Machine. He got the impact off on the roof.
Oh, okay, nice. Oh,
and his magnet's going to save him. The K trick, I believe. Oh no, Machine will go down.
Right.
And I thought we heard a K trick coming out, but it's not to be. They will be able to get the extra. There's next to no one in position. Oh, the artillery claw comes too late.
Not the best
Come
timing,
on,
though.
Jacko.
Jacko is just too lost in it, but as it stands, T7 still could do a really good solid push. There's the pings already. In comes the swing. Perfect read onto KJ. Wait, is that a... Wait.
Phoenix body take the shots to keep Campo alive.
Gotta keep the dream alive, man.
I will be your shield, brother.
Mr. President, get down. Physics somehow still managed to run away.
How does he get the kill?
A frag. I have no idea how he scores a frag, but Worm goes in for the swing. Notice his presence.
Oh,
snap.
good night.
Snapped onto Physics.
Crisp, clean, no caffeine, no chance for Physics. And match point secured here for Team 7. Going into the 8th, they are looking hot.
Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. It's just all falling apart for 1620 Kings. It was just, for a brief moment, it looked, oh yes, okay, comeback time. And it all kind of, it's all gone. It's all vanished from existence. I am curious to see, well, how we are going to be looking this out, and who we will possibly even get to talk to.
Yeah, interesting prospect. But right now, it's looking like this could be the end of the road here for 1620 Kings at Playdate number 6. And Chef Jeff is, I mean, respect where respect is due. It is the ACS 12 of the Maestro to come into play. The Big Biscuit Tin Cannon itself. This could be the difference maker. 100%.
Yeah, look, the ACS 12 could be a really dangerous weapon, especially in the hands of Chef Jeff, the connoisseur of the shotguns. And I mean, the lineup itself is looking rather solid. I mean, utility-wise, you have pretty much covering all of your basics, and then some, especially in the info gathering department. On the side of T7, though, it is looking to be aggression full on, with the introduction of Amaru as well. So, curious to see what will be the end result of that. Physics waiting. Oh! What? He nails that
Perfectly
shot!
timed, and Worm is in the dirt.
Absolutely stomped out of existence. 1620 Kings, yeah, look, physics will be flourishing in that sort of glory.
Worm is absolutely spewing off that. That is just game knowledge at its finest.
Yeah, perfect read there by the man.
He hits that shot, but he can't kill a drone.
Yeah, it's just like that. You get a trait. You can either just snap onto the drones or you snap onto your targets.
Oh, Jacko. Phoenix is in break. He's been allowed to find the kill onto the player in the site. He will fall to machine out in the arcade balcony. Sealy goes to clear a camera and will be punished for it. Right now, K16 somehow in the driver's seat here in round number 8. Oh, no, Jeff!
Oh.
Come on!
Good night, Campo. No more of your saving of your KD either now. It's all down to Khan and Sealy to try to make it work, and well, Sealy is tagged to all hell. Khan is the only one on full HP, but the issue being 1620 Kings have been all over the map. And well, now they have to basically check at a face value each and every one of those positions. Oh, Khan finds another one. That's 2v2 all of a sudden with 1:20 to go.
Sealy, though, is not in the healthiest of ways. This is, I mean, there's 2 nitros. There's 3 new jammers in pocket for Machine.
Just alpha male grants it.
Only put one down, and I don't even know if it was in the right place. Sealy just scratching on through, needs to find an angle. One and break, spots the head, and very narrowly avoid. Yeah, I was going to say, are you even going to be able to pop that? You're just too close in the corner. They knew where you were. Bench will be cleared, and it is all on Khan to clutch up. The kill will go the way of Machine. Sealy finally to fall. K16 might have held on for another round. Offered a start from Physics. Carney pushed back down yellow. They know his position. Smoke bank off the wall. Nitro cell return. And oh, Carney, desperation, nowhere to go. Will fall, unfortunately.
Absolutely brutally murdered there by Machine himself. We do get a second point in the hands of 1620
Jeff is reclined, rubbing his eyes.
It's just, what is this game, man?
What is going on?
What is going on? Why am I in pain all of a sudden? All of those questions stack it up, and well, really no actual answer there for the man, for the captain of 1620
Can you
Kings.
imagine? 2-5-1 halves traded back. I mean, it is a defender-sided map.
The underground special.
Yeah, it is a defender-sided map here on Theme Park, so I could see it.
True.
Especially if Physics is hitting shots like that.
Oh yeah, Physics been nailing his performance extremely well.
Attackers need to locate
to the point where sometimes I even question my own sanity with those performances. But I mean, it's good to see that. Well, we've been talking about, you know, Physics being one of those kind of late introductions into 1620 Kings roster. Do we see him finally, you know, flourish to the fullest in this team, in this roster, in the way how in his role as well, as a matter of fact?
Well, this time Jeff is given the role of mute and we'll put those jammers down. The Cthulhu. Another cap can.
Oh,
another cap can.
And it's on Jacko as well. The man is just chaotic nature at its finest, so quite curious to see if he will be able to make it work.
What are the odds we get another round that plays out the same way as that last one?
Nah, I think that one is a one-off. That's the one to go into the books.
Oh dear. Well, 4 nitros in play. KJ, the only one not running one, he's got the bulletproof camera. Instead, the line already scanned coming out as they want to pressure on in. Initiation office, the site of choice here in the 9th round as well. Let me just look at the plethora of information gathering available. Machine hit with a nade, forced off the angle. Still alive.
Absolutely. Well, already entry has been done. Chef Jeff is the one to claim the life of Phoenix, but so will Sealy, upping his kill count even further, 11-3. Now, knowing about some presence, or having rather inklings about the presence around the vault, could promise some good gains in the points and frags department. 4 kills is what's separating Team 7 and the win, a full-on 3-pointer. That could be very much done right here, right now, as a good initial isolation play, but Jacko could be the spanner in the works, spotted out. Oh, lordy. How is Worm not tagged to even further amount of damage is beyond me, but Chef Jeff is the one to actually get to work, gets rid of Khan as well. And yeah, Khan is just absolutely lost.
Not to mention the fact that they've cleared up both information gathering operators. Oh God, I'm genuinely disappointed that we didn't get to see that, but I'm sure Jeff will have the clip ready to go. Team 7, they seem to be a bit lost here in the second half. Jeff is good for a third. He might even be on for the ace if they give him the opportunity. He is tagged quite significantly. He's going to swing out. Spotted, but it's Jacko to deny the ace. Campo, the last one live, we've seen him clutch up from worse, but physics there.
Yeah, right.
16-20 Kings are on their way to try and equalise.
I mean, this is certainly looking like it's a possibility, closer and closer. Once again, it's Chef Jeff. The moment he gets given the SAS shotgun, he's the one to perform, and look, the rest of the team is able to tag along. Physics doing his job as well, and once again, the man has been doing a pretty phenomenal job all in all, so understandably so. 16-20 Kings on their defense as well. It feels like it's a little bit more of a, you know, a comfort zone compared to the attack, given just how clean they were so far in the performance. I say that.
Oh boy.
Chef Jeff brings out the cab, and I'm pretty sure it's a Spaz 15.
Oh, I would be remiss if it was anything else. But I mean, I did not think that this Finker ban would be so impactful. I knew, yeah, it was going to make things a little bit tougher for an attacking team. But just how impactful it has been for Team 7? I mean, they are finding themselves at a significant deficit in most of these gunfights.
Yeah, they have in fact, actually, yeah, that's a really good point, Panda. Given that Team 7 are one of those teams that have been relying quite well. Oh, Jesus.
Welcome to the motion sickness.
Yeah, speaking of the motion sickness. But yeah, Team 7, a team that has been very thoroughly relying on the Finker pick. Definitely feeling not particularly in their ball. And
10 seconds to go.
It's certainly seeming to be helping out 16-20 Kings. That permanent damage kind of seeming to be working out rather well. I am, though, curious how and where will Chef Jeff really perform, because we know, generally speaking, where K16 would usually play around.
I mean, last I saw him, he was daycare.
He's in labs now.
Yeah, of course. The
yellow stairs, okay.
No, okay, is he going to go for the full rotate back? Is he going to go to break room? He's prone in the middle of the yellow hallway.
What is happening?
KJ's dead.
Okay. Right. With KJ out of the equation, only one person is currently on site. One person. Jacko as well is about to be tagged to all hell.
Okay. I see what Jeff's game plan was. Unfortunately, he's then given up on the spot immediately.
Yeah. Rather instantaneously. Sealy as well tagged up. It's kind of all over the place right now, but a very high concentration of the attacking forces around the Gong area, plus the maintenance, looking to try to apply some more pressure around this position. Frag grenades out. Don't think that actually cleared out the positions. Plus the electric claw of Jacko is certainly there to deny it even further. So, again, frag grenades galore out. Phoenix looking to try to lock it down as much as possible. Frag grenade does actually find a finisher onto Machine as well. So this does make things a whole lot more nicer and snappier for Team 7, as they are possibly looking to push this in their favor.
Jeff above again, Spaz 15 in hand. Don't know what the game plan was with the impact, maybe just a bit of a deterrent. But that will give away his position, of course. He's just prone, top dragon stairs. Pings are coming out. He could still do a lot of damage here. But he's got to make the push. Jacko finds the first for his team. Oh, my Lord. No way he's about to get away with his positioning.
Oh, no way.
He shuts down Wormseal. He fools what is going on in this map. Theme Park just seems to be cursed. The top two teams in the competition are finding themselves floundering on the map. Campo might be the ones to clutch up, but no, Jeff's back on his business. Carney is just wondering what the hell has gone wrong with the round. He's now heading upstairs. He says, come on, nah, no more of this. Jeff, where are you? I'm coming for you.
Yeah, look, Khan basically now posed with quite a gargantuan task. In comes the swing. Spaz has the perfect range.
My God.
One tap and a head shake as well. You're not going any further there, mate. And that is about it, really, for yet another round. We're about to go into full regulation, Panda, from a 5-1 scoreline.
2 rounds. 2 rounds all at 16-20 kings. We're about to see potentially 2 5-1 half trades.
Yeah, there is a very heavy possibility of that very case. Team 7, look, they are looking a little bit lost there. Not really having a whole lot of cohesion with their play, not really going for that coherent, you know, clear out of the top down whenever it is on the ground floor, the site that is. And the 16-20 Kings pretty much channeling the inner AZ, just absolutely, you know, being that chaotic element, just being everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Which feels rather weird, given that the moment I saw the Cav pick, I'll be genuinely honest, the moment I saw the Cav pick for Chef Jeff, I kind of abandoned all hope. And when it was a 3v5, again, the hope was even further gone towards Team 7. And then all of a sudden, the Spaz 15 just comes huge, and, well, the whole Team 7 just completely flops.
Well, Frost in as well to try and make things spicy once again. I genuinely don't know. It's such a tenuous hold that 16-20 Kings have on this map, but it has also secured them to 3 rounds in a row.
Man. It's just all been a rather odd kind of downward spiral for Team 7, where they had such a solid performance, such a great defense, and the moment things went down to the actual offense on Theme Park, yeah, it's all kind of just all over the place. Very much of a disconnected play, disconnected push, not a whole lot of coordination on the actual re-swings, and kind of all that in tandem kind of ended up compounding a lot of problems and a lot of losses for Team 7. But just
T4, no! He almost found 3, but he gets Phoenix.
Oh no, that is a tragedy. Tragedy at its finest, and that is as well the Zofia going in out of the equation. And again, the drone is about to be denied as well by the Mozzie drone. So far, I mean, 16-20 Kings playing this to perfection.
Thriving in the chaos. Super sub Jacko really stepping up in a big way today. They've got control room though. And there is an opening straight into Bunk, a long angle towards Arcade, and Worm just missing out on the opportunity as the jiggle beat continues. They are... it's just absurd. 16-20 Kings are leaning into the chaos and thriving in it.
Yeah. The moment 16-20 Kings just basically have the number of Team 7, another one, Khan, trying to find his own shot. Does he see the punch hole though? Because that is where it's being prepped. That's where KJ might just be able to hit a clip as well. Khan playing a very careful game. He decides to completely back away from that very position, but you look at the health points for Worm. Oh, snaps, gets rid of Chef Jeff, all of a sudden 4v4. This might be the round, Panda.
There's still that Nitro in play, and you look at the health bars, they're looking bleak. Jacko, the super sub, keeps it rolling. The man who he's not played core for this team since midway through last year comes back when the team needs him the most. They are primed. Team 7 though to get in, but Machine with a kill on Carney. It just gets worse and worse. Campo will answer back with 1.5. He's still tagged up for his efforts though, Sealy. And Campo are going to have to go huge if they want to deny this round. 28 seconds with which to make it happen,
no!
but the EDT! Jacko on for a third! And Campo nothing doing. 16-20 Kings taking us to full regulation.
Oh, man. Oh, boy, 16-20 Kings. They are just on a ripper, and yeah, look, I gotta say, just in general, for tonight's play day, Panda, I think the MVP is the Capcan.
Jacko with the
living
multi-kill. Oh my God. What is play day number 6? It is absolutely insane.
Everything we could have asked for.
I mean, you've got Tester, the current kill record holder in the Challenger League. You've got Machine, the current LPL Pro record killer. And it's Jacko putting up the numbers for the team. And big kills too.
Oh, man. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Oh, God.
This is great. This is great entertainment so far. But look, it's probably not the entertainment that Team 7, though, would have wanted. They managed to push themselves to a really solid scoreline. I mean, 5-1 by the conclusion of the first half, and from there on, well, they managed to find only a singular round for themselves to push to match point, and well, from there on, it's kind of just, yeah, rest in Pepe's, really. The way how things been going on, the tilt factor, no tack as well called in, I believe, so...
no need, no P-break.
True. True.
Oh dear, it's so bizarre to me that Ultradelios called their tack breaks so they could go to the bathroom and then still won the map anyway. Oh dear, strange things happen.
Indeed, well. Oh, Jacko. Only a single one? Come on, mate.
He's trying to spread himself a bit thin and give himself more options. I mean, honestly, it's quite smart given that there is no thinker in play.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, no shot.
No way. No way that works out again. C4. Hello. Nah, nothing. Okay, right. This time, at least we get to see that Team 7 are learning of their own mistakes. But it also could be starting to show that maybe 16-20 King is starting to get a little bit more too comfortable, maybe even.
Well, Jeff is going to be the first to fall, courtesy of Phoenix. And Jeff, look, come on, buddy. Come on. He's trying to get out of this match. It could have been over, what, almost 5 rounds ago. Not to be.
Not to be. Trust the process. Frag grenade out. Not really connecting, a little bit too cooked there by Worminator. Well, so far, Team 7 still yet to make an entry into the actual site. Phoenix already out of the equation. Full swing. Sealy trying to make sure that he gets that early entry, that he doesn't get overwhelmed. But as it stands,
Jacko has officially hit double digits.
Oh, man. Uh-oh.
I could not have called that coming into the play day. I thought this was going to be Team 7, nice and cleanly, but we're in a 4 versus 4. Sealant looking to walk on up, try and find an angle into initiation. Machine going to be tagged somewhat, but for now he's good. He's still stable. This is just absolute absurdity across the board. I could not have pinned this to be the way that today played out.
Honestly, I'm glad that this is going kind of the full length, because this does show that both teams are very much able to bring this, and it's not just, you know, one team kind of dominating another, albeit it's also quite a nice showcase, but it's more so just a kind of a one-way street. Between 16-20 Kings and Team 7, the moment that we see that good coordination between the two of those rosters, we get some absolutely heater rounds from both of the camps. Unfortunately, here so far, 16-20 Kings are once again have been put on a bit of a disadvantage. Chef Jeff is gone, Machine is gone. It's all down to Physics, KJ, and Jacko to make it work. But as it stands, this could actually be big.
Campo finds a kill on the Jacko. It's on Physics and KJ to try and push for OT. Physics is good for 1.
Nice.
Doesn't lose a single point of health in that engagement. The health bar is not there, and a headshot to take down Physics leaves it all in the hands of KJ.
No cover.
Knows the plant's going down. Coverage is going to be there, but Campo denies it at the tail end despite a very valiant effort from the 16-20 Kings. Yeah, Jeff, not wrong. How does it go 5-7, though? What a match. What a match across the board.
Absolutely phenomenal matchup that we do end up getting, but fortunately for Team 7, unfortunately for K16, well, it is a regulation conclusion. So 3-pointer for Team 7, that will be locking themselves in that first place. Whereas on the side of K16, look, unfortunately, no more points have been gained.
How is Jacko the second highest fragger for 1620 Kings by the end of that match? But I mean, 2 matches of Theme Park, 2 phenomenal maps of Theme Park as well. Full regulation in the second. I mean, look, 1620 Kings, that is probably one of the best performances we've seen out of them for a while. I mean, Team 7, a 5-1 half that they nearly lose out on.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, it's been a rather long road between the two rosters. I mean, for K16, if they wouldn't have made it a 5-1 scoreline against them, they would have had a really great chance to really make it play. And I mean, off the back of this absolutely banger of a defense, 1620 Kings, look, it's a good try, good effort, and the fact that they managed to keep on channeling that chaotic nature for quite a while until they were found, it was all looking good. But Team 7 managing to finally close it all off does mean that, well, we still get that Tier 3 domination, basically, off the leaderboard.
I mean, look, it was great to watch. It was a spectacle and a half. It just makes me wonder what the case would have been if Testa had been in play. But the question being, given how Jacko performed today, what would the outcome have been? Would it have been easier for Team 7? Would it have been closer?
Actually, you know what iteration of K16, I'm actually really curious how will it perform. So keep Jacko on for now, but maybe later down the line have Testa say maybe replace KJ. Now that is the kind of matchup that I could be quite keen to see.
Well, unfortunately, we don't get to talk too much more about 1620 Kings. It is Team 7 to pick up the win. We've got Sealy as well joining us. Look, mate, you had us in the first half. You let it slip in the second. Talk us through what was Theme Park tonight.
The match was a little crazy tonight. Right before the match, we found out that user couldn't play, so we had to get Khan in. But Khan had to go to Internet Cafe with KJ Assassin. They're actually sitting across from each other at an Internet Cafe.
Right.
And we couldn't hear Khan the whole game. We had no comms from him that match, so that was a little stressful.
Oops. Okay, that would explain quite a number of things.
Yeah, 1620, we're getting a little crazy on defense. Physics was running around a bit, which we kind of flustered us a bit on attack. But, we closed it in the end. Defense was I think, pretty simple for us, but yeah, attack got a little bit wild.
Understandably enough, but look, run us through at which point have you guys kind of managed to recover yourself? Because yeah, you obviously yourself stated that kind of you guys were starting to get a little bit flustered. K16 starting to get a little bit more kind of chaotic. What was kind of the turning point for you guys to try to essentially say, okay, well, this is where we make a push, this is where we make a stand, finally claim our kind of final round to win?
Yeah, well, we were kind of like, we're just running around like headless chickens right now. This is basically our match to lose. Since they're running around so chaotically, there's a lot of gaps in the defense. So at the end there, we kind of just rushed into initiation, which they didn't really have anyone to stop us for doing that.
And I mean, look, after oh yeah, look, it was a chaotic map. We know that much for sure. But I mean, silly, you guys locked yourselves in for first going into the final week of play. Underground, unfortunately, can't touch you because of Alta Delios. I mean, how does that feel? You qualify at the beginning of the stage, you come in. I mean, how does it feel seeing it play out the way it has?
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty cool. we were confident the whole time we were going to make playoffs. There wasn't, as egotistical as it sounds, there wasn't really a thought in our head that we weren't going to make playoffs.
Well, I mean, there's making playoffs and there's making playoffs in first seat. So, I mean, above and beyond, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. No.
Look, before we let you head off, Sealy, anyone you'd like to shout out?
Shout out Khan again for coming in under some pretty poor circumstances. Yeah.
Well, look, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you again next week, Cthulhu. What a Playday 6 has been. 2 forfeits, unfortunately, but 2 absolutely banger matches to answer for it. And I mean, look, I could not have even... When I woke up this morning, this is not at all how I thought the Playday would go.
Yeah, honestly, it was a really pleasant surprise with the way how this Playday really worked out. But, I mean, from the absolute fiesta that was the first matchup to this absolute rocker of a matchup. I mean, 1620 Kings on the defense are quite a scary entity, and physics kind of dedicating to that chaotic nature has been a really good addition to all of that.
I did not think that a Kavira would run around either. But let's have a look at the leaderboard and see how things are going into our final week of play. Team 7 first, Alton Zelios in second. So, I am wrong. Believe it or not, I am wrong, and I am happy to admit it. Team 7, not actually locked in first place. If they lose next week and Alton Zelios win, Alton Zelios will be first seed going into the final play day. And then Odium and Underground tied on 12 points in third and fourth.
Oh my Lord.
I could not have called it.
Yeah, look, me neither. That is an interesting change in the leaderboard. And I mean, the huge drop down, the Underground roster, they started today on second place, dropped down 2 positions to 4th. And yeah, with Alton Zelios on the second place, that is the last team that I was expecting to see nearly at the top of the leaderboard. Albeit, this does make me rather excited for all the things to come in the future.
You know what else I'm excited for, Cthulhu? It's our Twitter winner as well. We have someone to give some credits. It is going to be I Got a Briefcase with his Vigil breakdown. The K1A hopefully should be receiving some love in the future. You'll be receiving some love in the form of 2400 R6 credits, Cthulhu. I mean, LPL will hit you up, don't you worry. They'll get in contact with you and make sure you get those so you can buy yourself some new skins as well. But Cthulhu, it has been a hell of a day here, and of course none of it would be possible without Rocket and their contributions to the competition. They are our naming partners after all. Just what is there to say? Playday 6 has been a wild ride.
Oh,
but it sets us up for a hell of a Playday 7. Yeah. One more week before we head into playoffs. That is next week, of course, so make sure you're back then. Same time next week, next Wednesday. We'll see you then.